This episode of the Pie Strong podcast is brought to you by the Macquarie Inn Hotel, the best spot in town to catch UFC live on the big screens with full sound, cold beers, and a proper fight night atmosphere. Don't watch it at home, watch it where the locals watch it. The Macquarie Inn Hotel.
We're also brought to you by CosBuild. Do you want to update your living space? Anthony Costa from CosBuild can help you with all your renovation needs, big or small. Contact Anthony on Facebook at CosBuild or www.cosbuild.com.au. Strap in, enjoy the show.
Welcome back to the Pie Strong podcast, another episode of Footy Talks with Matt and Jack, episode 5, but realistically 96. Am I right? 95.
98?
97. No way. Let
It's
me double
98,
check.
isn't it?
I'm starting this. I like to be right.
It's 98, brother.
98. Episode 98.
Jesus.
Oh my God. I'm getting old. 98. Jack, what a week of footy. Few upsets, a few thrashings, and a couple of the faves did what they were supposed to do. Tell me what you think. You've got the mic. I know you like to talk.
Oh, you know me too well, Matt. Look, it was a brilliant round of footy. Pretty much caught every game.
Yep.
And it's, I think every game sort of went the way we expected it would go. Look, as a diehard Roosters supporter, 13 men control my mood for the rest of the fucking weekend.
Yeah. That's
And
what
it kills me. I wish they'd let the Roosters play on a Sunday, so that way I'm not pissed off for the rest of the weekend about how shitty they are.
Well, let me tell you, Jack, you got to have a shit team to play on Sunday, mate. That's how that works, right? All the ratings, all the good teams. That's why Broncos play every Friday, every Thursday. Dragons used to play every Friday, every Thursday. Now we play every Sunday, mate. It's because we're shit. So just be shit and then enjoy Sunday. And that's why Johnny Thule and I always say it's good to have Sunday games because at least you can enjoy the week of footy before you're disappointed. Anyway.
Oh, wise words from fucking Rock.
Wise words from Rock. What stood out to you for the week?
Through the week, mate, the whole Gordan Tallis thing. Have you been keeping a head on this?
Yep.
Look, so the long and short of it, Gordan Tallis was on 360 the other day and bagged out Madge again, bagged out Reynolds, and basically just ran the whole team down, saying that they're losing because of Madge and, their captain shouldn't be going and jumping on a plane over to Sydney to watch his mate get his top try score and blah, blah, blah. He got called out on it, which was good. Did you see that part?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Basically, captain shouldn't be choosing to sit out of a game. But the bloke clapped back at him. Didn't you sit out for a whole year, Gordie?
Oh, that wasn't the Broncos. That was St. George. But weren't you captain? What's his name? I haven't seen him. He's a fresh face. He's a fresh face.
He's good though. He's really good. He
Yeah.
speaks a bit of common sense, to be honest.
For now, until he gets kicked off the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Broncos have gone a bit petty, haven't they?
They did. They renamed the Gordon Tallis meeting room to the Ali Brigganshaw meeting room. I kind of like it, but it's also a bit of a cheap jab,
Yeah. Look, Ali Brigganshaw deserves her roses.
For sure.
She's an incredible footballer, done incredible things for the Broncos, but I can tell you right now, there's not a man alive that would agree with what the Broncos have done. Matty Johns even had a bit of a blow up about it too as well.
He did.
And it's not like Matt to have an opinion on such a, viewed platform too as well. You have to be very careful, but he definitely gave one to the Broncos. Do you agree with what they did?
Well, that's a tough one. I don't like Gordon Tallis, so I like what happened. But from a completely neutral perspective, I don't think it was the right thing to do.
Yeah. From both sides, though, would you agree? I think both sides have become extremely petty. And
mate, Gordan needs to let it go.
Yeah.
He served that club for, from 1997 through to 2000 and whatever. Won 3 premierships with them, captained the side. Like, I understand your mate got fired from there, but the bloke that replaced him won a premiership.
Mm.
Like, give him his flowers where they're due.
Yeah.
Stop being a petty prick and, talking him down just because they've lost they lost two games.
And
Well,
focus
you know
on your
what?
team you just bought or bought
Exactly.
into.
That's what your team that is not winning,
Yeah.
that hasn't finished in the top 8 in how many years?
Yeah.
Like he
No,
needs
mate.
to let it go. But the Broncos also shouldn't have clapped back like that.
It was coming though. It was coming. You can only take so many hits before you do something. So
For sure.
while you've brought up old Gordie Tallis, the bull, the raging bull, we might as well jump on to Storm versus the Broncos. I thought Dommy was silly for picking the Broncos. Turns out I'm pretty sure he was the only one in Australia other than Broncos fans that backed them. They win 18-14, grinded out an absolute grind fest, without using that word grind too much.
What a huge turnaround in the second half.
Yeah.
Like their resilience stood out, just like in the grand final and all the games leading up to the grand final. It was that same team. I don't know whether they just needed that spark to ignite in them, but obviously everything that happened through the week had no effect on them. They came out and their fitness and resilience really stood out.
Yeah, I've got a wee bit of a different opinion on that. I think Melbourne Storm are running away with it, and they're good at doing this, and they take their foot off the accelerator. They did it in the grand final, and they did it again. I think
their attack becomes predictable.
Yes, or they just went so stagnant. Yeah, so stagnant. And I think Broncos took advantage of it because they've got so much star across the field. Once they get a roll on, it's really hard to stop their momentum. And I love how NRL and Fox League have brought in all of the AI now to show the transition in momentum for each side. It just gives you another bit of an insight on what's happening on the field. But my take would be Melbourne had that game in the bag, and they kind of de-accelerated and they copped the ultimate price with the big L.
Yeah, look, missed tackles are always going to bring the Broncos back into a game too, especially with stars like Reece Walsh and Payne Haas. Payne Haas through the middle was just phenomenal, like he always is.
Yeah, yeah. Tony Staggs had an absolute ripper too as well. There's, circulation again. Is he the best centre in the world? No. Definitely no, I don't think he is. But did he have a great game? Yes. It's always hard to beat Melbourne Storm. And might I add, at Amy Park, holy dooly.
Huge.
Melbourne Storm, I don't know what to say for them. They had a cracking first half and absolutely capitulated in the second half.
Yep.
Harry Grant kind of went a bit quiet. Munster got a bit frantic.
He does do that, doesn't he? He tries to do too much. Sort of reminds me of what Tedesco does.
Yeah. Anthony
when the Roosters,
when
they start to get behind, they just try to do too much. Which I guess, we could see that in the Panthers-Roosters game.
Yep.
40-4. Panthers were just fucking ridiculous.
Who beats them? I don't see a team the way they're moving at the moment that beats the Panthers. It's so scary, Jack, to see how they bounce back from last year. Like, who's going to hate them for going mediocre for a couple of years? Who's going to be disappointed? No one's going to be disappointed.
They won 4 premierships in a row.
Yeah, 5 grand finals in a row, 4-1 in a row. How as a Panthers fan, you should be well equipped to go, you know what? It's time for us to, take a back seat. But Ivan Cleary has somehow created structures and processes and a group of young kids that are forming into mature adults and are just absolutely overtaking the NRL world.
Two players that always stand out for me for the Panthers, always. Isaiah Yeo, his leadership is second to none.
Yep.
And obviously Nathan Cleary.
Yeah.
Mate, he's the Iceman. There was a funny little moment in the game. I don't know if you caught it, but Angus Crichton put some kick pressure on Cleary.
Yeah.
And then you know how they always have a little bit of a jib at each other and, try and make a laugh out of it after that? Angus tried to do that. Nathan just looked at him, straight faced, didn't say a word, turned away and walked off.
Oh, Iceman.
Fucking Iceman. Iced him.
My
hard.
highlight of the game has to go to Bizza. Brian To'o. He says at the end of the game,
Shout out Mary Fowler.
Mary Fowler, my sister's been teaching me a few little goals, a few little tricks and skills with the feet, but 2 kicks and he just read it so well. Man, I don't think I could give anyone on the Panthers team a score below 8.
The inclusion of Liam Martin was big too.
Yep.
He's phenomenal, man.
Yep.
In defense and attack. Like
Yep.
he just runs the ball so hard. It's great. I love him.
So Panthers play extremely well. What do the Roosters not do, Jack?
Well, the Roosters' edge defense is abysmal.
Yeah.
Mark Nwanganitawase is just found out constantly.
Brad just had a stroke after you said that. A bit like when I first said Fasul Malaawi, he's like, But yeah.
Nwanganitawase, Brad. Yeah.
Or Marky Mark for the Casuals.
Yeah. Marky Mark, yeah. Look, he was found out all game on that right hand edge, and he was caught in so many times, because I don't know, he just probably doesn't trust Robert Toya, which is ridiculous because Toya is one of the best defenders in the game.
It's funny you mention it because you brought this up round 1, right? You brought up the edge of Daly Cherry Evans and then obviously on the other side with Sam Walker. That's your target zone. You want to run at the halves.
Yeah.
Once you get some tired forwards and you're on the line, you want to run at the halves, right?
Yeah.
What do they need to do to fix that? Because, that's two big games and 2 big losses now for the Roosters.
I don't know if Sia Wong's the right person to sit next to Cherry Evans.
Yep.
Like he's a phenomenal player. Don't get me wrong, but I think someone like Nat Butcher, or maybe even Victor Radley, coming back into that edge forward position on that side, both great defenders.
Yep.
I think they will really help Cherry Evans out, and keep him safe, I guess.
Yeah.
That could be a big thing.
Can I throw out there? Sorry, you're right. Keep going.
Yeah, no. On the other side, Paga, or whatever his name is.
Yep.
Yeah, he's okay. He's a good fill-in, but his defense is lacking. And I think we miss Billy Smith out there as well.
Yeah. It's
like you
don't
shouldn't
ride
be
scooters, Billy.
you shouldn't be getting palmed off by fucking Paul Alamotti.
No.
Nothing against Paul.
Oh,
Alamotti.
he's a big dude, man.
He's a tank.
He's a tank. I'll tell you right now, Jack.
Billy
you're getting
Smith
palmed, brother. You're getting a steak sandwich to the face, mate.
Yeah,
where the hell is Sam Walker gone? Where's he gone?
This is another thing.
Has Daly Cherry Evans taken away his ability to play the game?
One thing I noticed on the game, on Friday's game against the Panthers, is Sam had his side, Cherry had his side. They never mixed.
Yeah.
They never met up with each other, or they did, but very rarely.
Yeah.
And it's kind of bad to see. Like, you shouldn't be separating sides and going, well, this is my side. Ball comes over here, I do it. You should be creating plays that work both your playmakers in.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
You've got to see both your halves combine on one side of the field
100%.
at least 30% of the game. You can't separate it.
They just didn't, and that was a real shame. So yeah, I think they're still developing. Give it a chance, I guess.
Yeah, well, time's not running out, but I guess time's running out for old Robbo. He needs to. You've got to come to a point where you have to make some decisions. And talking to coaches making decisions, Shane Flanagan will move on from the Roosters copping a thrashing to a game, in my opinion, Dragons should have won. But again, the halves absolutely failed with, as you mentioned through the week, Jack, organising, game management. It's just starting to become.
No, look, you really gave me perspective when we were talking about this, Matt. And you're right. Like, you're actually pretty good in saying that. And you are right. Daniel Atkinson's organisation of the team, where he wants them to be and where he needs them to be when the plays are happening, the set plays are happening.
Yeah.
That's good. But his game management
It's
side
poor,
of
mate.
things
Yeah.
is poor. Is poor. Like making the right decisions about where to attack. Like it's definitely a halfback's job.
100%.
And
Why the hell
he just
go to
wasn't doing it.
Holmes 40
He was having a
times?
shit game.
At the first half, he had a blinder. He was running the angles, running the holes. He held onto the ball. When we had one player off, and you brought this to my attention, that Cooper Cronk was yelling out, why the frick are they not getting over to Sully? Like,
They
take the
need
ball
to run
left.
the ball
But then,
at Moses and give it to Sully to run it.
so let me ask this question, right? Where's Kyle Flanagan going, give me the fucking ball?
Yeah.
Because that's what any good 5'8" would do. Give me the ball. You know, Atko's had his turn. Give me the ball. Bring it out this way. And their game management and authority is not there. Flanagan, I've been a massive supporter of Flanagan, and I'm the first to say he is not a NRL 5'8", but he has got heart, grit, determination, all of the above.
Yeah.
And he's a good defender. Every now and then he's got a good show and go in him, but he was absolutely non-existent that whole game until he chased a kick and, you know, almost scored a try. And you can't do that against Parramatta Eels. You know, they are so quick to put points. I spoke to you the other week. I think I was talking to John Thewell. Rabbitohs, you leave, you're winning 12-6 and you go take a piss and you come back and you're losing 28-12. Eels do that to you. They just have this ability. Once they have one try, they get the second quick and the third even quicker.
Yeah,
and,
they feed off momentum hard.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
And, you know, Jack, you've said it for 3 weeks in a row. Our forward pack, exceptional.
My God.
They
I
rolled
want that forward pack.
They rolled. I probably didn't roll Bulldogs as much as they rolled Melbourne Storm and the Eels.
Look, the Bulldogs are a good forward pack, but they held their own and they were fucking brilliant against the Bulldogs.
And let down.
I rate them.
And then you've got Jonah Pezzett and Mitch Moses on the other side. Just did the things that you needed to do to ice out the game. Addo Carr's runaway try at the end, come off again, another error of Valentine Holmes, and they jumped on it and took advantage, and at that point it's too late. But I don't want to take anything away from the Eels. You know, they were a bit shell-shocked. Dragons have definitely shown what their DNA is. They run out for the first 15, 20 minutes, hold on to your fucking seatbelts because they just absolutely shonk you. And I don't know how that's working for them at the end of the game. Melbourne Storm, perfect example. 15 minutes to go, they were absolutely fucking gassed. So we see it again. Melbourne Eels got through it. Definitely the penalty try. At the end of the day,
it wasn't a penalty try.
But at the end of the day, as a Dragon supporter, I was happy that they gave him the try. I didn't want him to go off for 10 minutes. So I was more happy that they gave him, but it wasn't a penalty try for the only reason why, if Gutho wasn't there, it's a penalty try, but Gutho's there swinging around. You can't certainly say. The hip drop from Couchman, 100% was a hip drop. And I feel bad for Hopgood because, you know, he's probably going to look at, they're saying it's an ACL.
Yeah, his season's done.
But how do you get that out of the game? You know, everyone arguing on it. They've been doing it for 50 to 60, 70 years.
Sometimes you can't help it either. When your momentum's coming one way, their momentum's going the other way, you grab on. Yeah. Like you just sort of end up naturally swinging around. Like sometimes you just can't help it.
So Mitch Moses, Jonah Pezzett, watch a 13-sided team turn into 12, did what they needed to do. They showed why they are why they are 6 and 7. They scored their 2 tries. Goes in 18-14. And Eels just come out like a bull out of a gate. It was just they owned that first 20 minutes. We owned the next 20 and just couldn't ice it because I don't think we've got the right 6. And I'm still not sure about Aka. His kicking game, he idolises, funny enough, Mitch Moses. He come out on Monday and he said his idol's Mitch Moses. That's what he's based his kicking game on. You can see it.
Mitch Moses' long kick is just ridiculous because it gets him it gets him out of trouble so much. They're on their own 20-meter line,
Yeah, we
and he
catch it on their
kicks
10.
kicks it to their 10.
Yeah. But it's not only the distance, Jack, it's the height as well. So
Oh,
he gives all of his team the optimum amount of time, the optimal
To
amount of
chase.
time to be able to chase and get down
so they
there.
only get back to the 20-meter line.
Incredible
Yeah.
distance. And,
Yeah.
you know, there was so many times where our defensive sets were absolutely perfection. You know, the fifth tackle on their 20, anyone that knows NRL's gone 100%, you've just won, you know, field position. Let's go, baby. Before you know it, you're catching the ball on your 10-meter line and the chase is good and you're being tackled on the 20. So, yeah, he kicked them out of trouble. We kicked ourselves out of a bit of trouble, but Parramatta seemed to be showed to be the stronger team, win 30-20. And, yeah, not much else to say to that. Eels get 2 back-to-back games, Dragons 0-3, got the Titans next week, so surely they get up for
Fingers
that
crossed,
game.
eh?
Fingers crossed.
Look, the Titans actually looked pretty good this week.
Yep.
I don't know. Did you catch the game?
I definitely did. I don't know.
Jaden Campbell is a big inclusion in that team. He is a superstar, phenomenal.
But this is what I'm going to say. If you're losing against the Cowboys 30-16, Cowboys have not looked good.
No.
So where does that put the Titans? And I'm scared, just to jump back to the old Red V, I'm scared to see what happens with. I'd love to see the Dragons put a score on Titans. But, yeah, I wasn't really impressed with the Titans. I thought Cowboys got a couple of lucky tries out of just being in the right place at the right time. If I was to say the boring game of the week, I'm putting the Cowboys-Titans as the boring game of the week.
Yep, for sure.
It was definitely a tough watch. I'm sorry to the Cowboy fans and the Titans fans. I honestly haven't got much to say about either team. You know, I know there's 30 points for the Cowboys and well done, but it wasn't out of attack. You know, it was out of just poor decision making, poor defense. And the tries scored on them weren't any better either.
You'd expect to see that type of game in New South Wales Cup or, you know, Group 10 Rugby League. You know.
Yeah, look, they're NRL teams. I'm being harsh. You know, it was a game of footy.
Yeah, but harsh is fair right now because those teams are not performing like an NRL team should.
Nah.
You've got how many Origin players are in the fucking Cowboys team?
Crazy. If you go back to our first episode with Las Vegas, I said they absolutely put 50 points on the Newcastle Knights. Their team on paper is special.
Yeah, Maritaulangi, fucking
Reed Marnie, Maritaulangi, you've got Tommy Dearden. And if you go back to the first episode, I said I don't understand Jake Clifford being there, and it's obviously proven.
I still don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, look, honestly, not much. Obviously, saying a boring game, where I was most excited, can't believe it, the Tiger Pies and the Rabbitohs.
I told you this was my game.
Yeah, you did say that.
This was my game.
Yeah, what a freaking game.
Do you know what? I reckon the Tigers only lost this because they lost Jerome Luai and they lost Adam Dewey.
The Rabbitohs were just hanging on, hey?
Yep.
Yeah.
They certainly were. They just seemed to have a little bit more experience and clutch those crucial moments.
Yep. I'm starting to get a bit worried with the Rabbitohs, though, with too many Chiefs and not enough Indians. Yeah, I guess you just got to humble yourself and let the game happen. If you look again, who is in that team? Oh, mate, I don't know how a team could beat them when you look at it on paper.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
But as any Tiger fans out there, you should be proud of what your team's doing. I don't want to play the Tigers this year. If you know what I mean. I don't think there's many teams that want to play them. They look good. They look sharp. They look sharp with their hands. Their passes are coming out soft from their halves. You know, Appy's running well.
Yeah, the next 4 to 6 weeks would probably be the times you want to play the Tigers because their halves pairing's gone.
And in saying that, next 4 to 6 weeks, let's see what the Tigers have got with their halves pairings gone. They've got Jock Madden in there. Is Jock Madden? He went back to the Tigers.
Jock Madden's there. And so there's that young Islander fella.
Finau, whatever his name. I know who you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He's good.
Yeah. They took him from the fucking Dragons.
The
So
Dragons let him go, mate.
So it's
Look,
You go.
No. You're right. I was just going to say, look, the Tigers have a pretty rough draw the next 4 weeks, so I don't think they're going to be winning.
Yeah, but they've been solid, so we'll see what happens. Rabbitohs, they've got to get their move on with a team like that without going into it again. They should be putting it to teams. So, team of the week, New Zealand 1 Warriors, 3-0, top of the ladder. They are the epitome of what am I going to say? The epitome of perfection at the moment. That last try at the end, full time, did not have to do anything.
They didn't give up on the play,
and got the debutant a try. Old Hansen down the middle.
How good was that?
Fucking how good are the Warriors? How good
phenomenal.
are the Warriors?
And boy.
Yeah.
So, question for you: Luke Metcalf is coming back from an ACL injury.
Yep.
He was playing out of his skin last year for the Warriors.
Yep. I'll chuck him straight back in. Sorry, Tanner.
Damn, really?
Yeah, straight back in. Luke Metcalf is special. And if you look at how the Warriors were playing last year, they're special. And do you know what? Tanner Boyd, you've got your chocolates now. Everyone is talking about you. They posted today, Tanner Boyd is replicating Andrew Johns of 2005 and 2006.
Shit.
You give me a better fucking slap on the back than that.
That's pretty
and
phenomenal.
he truly is. He is in a world of his own. He's doing what he's being noticed. So if he gets put back in and Luke Metcalf comes in, his stocks have risen through the roof. Someone's going to call out to him. Fucking be the Dragons. You watch. But Knights, bit hard to ridicule their game. Kalen Ponga, Dylan Brown, Sharp.
Yep.
They're all missing. They held their own for a wee bit, just could not keep it going.
Yeah, their edge defense broke down, didn't it?
Yeah, well, everything broke down. Tyson Gamble turned into a fucking a nightmare when nothing goes wrong with him. I'm just I'm not a fan of him at all.
When they're losing, he is just the biggest fucking grub and whinger. It's fucking annoying.
No, it's. I want Dylan Brown and Kalen Ponga to get back as soon as possible because the Knights did not look good at all. So Warriors 3-0 at the top of the table. Look absolutely strong. Knights, you need your stars back. Bulldogs.
Tell me about the Bulldogs week, Matt.
Bulldogs have yet again been in the spotlight for wanting to move on a player that has better stats than their captain. We're talking about Bronson Chupa Chup Cherry, right? The man,
Bronson
the myth,
Cherry
the
is
peptide, the legend. You know what I mean?
Fucking great player.
Great play. Stats against Stephen Crichton, absolutely been dosed. It's absolutely bizarre that they're looking to move him on. Apparently, he's found a new religion. Apparently, he doesn't want to even play rugby league, blah, blah, blah. So there's 11-70 things coming out about it. And you just don't want to see it interfere with your week. They were lucky, absolutely putrid weather. I've mentioned, when you're playing the Raiders, it's always difficult because the weather in Canberra is absolutely shite.
Yeah.
But, they
Look,
got
the
win.
weather. Yeah, the weather played a big factor in that game, and it just came down to who wanted it more, I felt. And I just felt like the Bulldogs controlled the possession and the field position.
Yeah.
In that wet condition that the Raiders just weren't doing. And then on top of that, the Raiders weren't executing in their attacking zones.
Yeah.
Like they just lost it.
They're missing Jamal Fogarty. But, you look at what he's doing with the Sea Eagles, he's not doing much either. Sometimes the grass isn't greener on the other side. Hey, I know it's all about money now. It's not about playing for the team that you love, but
Did he go to the Eagles for money? Was that the reason?
Yeah, he got. I think it was maybe 50 or 100K more, but it's the deal. You know, it's you're got 1 year left at Raiders. Eagles will give you 3 years. You know, I've now got 3 more years of earning good money to make sure my families and kids are secured for the future. But Raiders, they didn't look bad. You know, there was just never enough continuity in the game for anyone to have momentum. And, you know, fortunately for Bulldogs, they had more points at full time without pointing out the elephant in the room, and they get the W.
Look, that's how you win a football game, isn't it?
Yeah.
The biggest thing that I'm still taking away from the Bulldogs team is their lack of creativity in the halves. And they're like, Lachlan Galvin has one play in him, and that's that short inside pass to what's his name? The second rower.
Preston.
Jacob Preston. Like, that's the one play he has. Everyone fucking reads it. They know it's coming.
Or the cutout pass. Matt Duffy special. Remember Duffy's old cutout pass? He loves that as well.
Yeah. Look, I don't know.
He's only young.
Galvin's not your 7.
Well, do you know what? We can whinge about them. They win round 1. They get the bye. They win round 3. You know,
they haven't
working.
played hard teams yet, right?
But do you know what? They haven't lost against the shit teams either. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. You're getting the 2 points, and that's the most important part.
Do you know what I want to see him do? I think I've told you this before. I don't know if I've said it on the podcast, though. I want to see Matt Burton move into the centres. I want to see Lockie Galvin go into 6, because I think he's a better 6 than he is a 7. He's not a good game manager. And I want to see Stephen Crichton
Go to fullback. Yeah, he tried fullback at Panthers, man, and he just didn't like. He just didn't like it though. It's I think it takes away his explosiveness to be able to break a game open.
But he's an X factor player.
He is, but he only has that X factor for so long in fullback. That's why James Tedesco is a one of a kind, man. From minute 1 to minute 80, the guy's running around like a headless chook. Dylan Edwards hasn't got the X factor in him. And I'm going to be respectful when I say this. He is a complete and utter workhorse that will be there to take the ball. He runs the same pace from minute 1 to minute 80. Reece Walsh is absolute X factor, blows the game open. That's because he chooses his work rate. You know, Stephen Crichton has a great work ethic, and I think at the back, when you're running that ball, you have to run back, you have to catch it, you make them big runs, you're constantly, fading from left to right. It takes it out of you, and I would rather him be in a center's position, 30 metres out with that fend, the show and go, the step, the footwork, and have that explosiveness there. But that's just my opinion. I think Connor Tracy's been freaking excellent.
He is.
We almost got him. Dragons almost got him, and Bulldogs come through and ended up picking him up from the Sharks, which is, I wasn't too fussed at the time, but after seeing how he's playing, I'd probably say bring him on.
You got Gutho, mate. It's all right.
Gutho, the workhorse.
And his dislocated fingers.
Oh, fucking. How about the Fletcher show? Hey? Fucking hell. So, yeah, look, Dommy went well. Six wins, 2 losses, and old Dragons didn't come home for him. And the Sharkies. Let's not forget about the Sharkies. Did we talk about the Sharks? We didn't, did we?
Who did they play?
Sharks played the Dolphins and got mollywopped. No, we didn't talk about them.
Oh, we didn't talk about that game.
Oh, my goodness.
No.
What
Jesus.
a letdown. I had them to be, when Dom went through his tips and he got to the Sharks, I was like, that's a lock. That's a lock. But they were just abysmal.
Their ruck speed was next level, wasn't it, from the Dolphins?
Yeah.
Isaiah Katoa.
He turned into a freak, eh?
He's
turned into a freak.
He's that new generation of halfback that's coming through.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these younger halfbacks have come through the game watching Nathan Cleary.
You just took the words out of my mouth. He's a replica of Nathan Cleary, man.
Yep. And so, look, Metcalf's the same. Luke Metcalf.
Yeah.
I think they're both very much replicas.
Atco.
Uh,
He loves Moses, not clear, bro.
let's move on from that. No.
Yeah. Now, look, the Dolphins smoked them, and Sharks were just, they just never looked in it. Nico Hines, that's got to come to a point where they move Nico back to fullback. I don't know if he's changed his body shape or it's been too long, but William Kennedy might need a bit of a stroll in New South Wales Cup. Nico goes back to they would be annoyed that they let Daniel Atkinson go now.
Because you could put Trindle into 7
and Daniel Atkinson into 6. That's what. And when they were doing
Nico was great at fullback,
and they were unstoppable. That's what obviously sparked all the spotlight on Daniel Atkinson when he was playing 6 and Braden Trindle was in at 7. But yeah, you've got to change something there because he's just not proving to be a good 7. He does have good games. He's got great game management. He's got great organisation, but his execution is, just not of the calibre that the Sharks need. And I picked them as my Smokies at the start of the year, and they're turning out to be the Smokies for the fucking wooden spoon. So, yeah, I was way off. But, yeah, Sharks get absolutely blown off the park by the old Dolphins. Fins up, and, mate, their team look like they're ready to take on the top 8 again this year.
Yep.
And how good is it for Wolf? I think he's got his son in there and his nephew in the team too as well. And I think he's got a brother as an assistant coach too as well. Maybe I'm going way too wolfy there, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. But their team just is such a sleeper. You know, they've got so much. Selwyn Cobbo, Hammer, Katoa. Even if you look at, what's the winger's name? I've just gone.
Jermaine
Asako. Like, think of the journey that guy's been on.
Mate, he was an Origin player. You know, he
then just
scores tries for fun. He kicks at a high percentage. Converts, sorry.
Yeah, and then went off the radar, got slapped into the Dolphins just to, maybe chuck him in there, and he's scoring some freaky tries too as well. Avarillo. I think the problem Herbie Farnworth, he played out of his skin.
Oh, he always plays out of his skin. Yep. I hope he doesn't want to play Origin because he'll play for Queensland.
Of course he will. Well,
fuck that.
Hang on. Yeah, he probably will. Depends on where he played. Yeah, he probably will anyway.
He played for Brisbane. That was his first team. He came over from the Super League, mate.
So, do you know who else played for Brisbane? Sam Walker, mate. I never got India for that one. Anyway, on to week 4. I'm going to get your tips. And I'm going to compare them to Dommies at the end, Jack. Righto? We're going to run through these. Hang on. We've had a message to the Pie Strong podcast. We've got a listener that's just asked a question. I thought it was fucking hilarious.
Not just a listener.
The Sugar Daddy Costa, our number one sponsor, CosBuild. If you need home renovations, you need some carpentry work, maybe even advice, go and speak to the man Costa at CosBuild. He's freaking amazing. Not because he gives us money, because he's a good bloke too as well, and maybe because he gives us money.
Thanks, Sugar Daddy.
If no winner is reached in Golden Point, why aren't the mascots fighting to death to get a winner, and why are Roosters so shit?
Legalize murderers.
Hey?
He stressed to me that he wanted this to be answered seriously, so he's got to take it serious.
Okay, look,
fuck around, boys.
Anthony, legalised murder is still frowned upon in Australia, so we can't do it. We can't make people fight to the death.
I once heard wise words from a man from Tajikistan. His name is Serge, and we don't condone violence on this podcast. Look, it would be fun to see maybe a little boxing match or a little wrestle, but Costa, it's a family sport, mate. We can't have bloodshed at the end of it. Interesting take, interesting question. I don't know. Maybe they bring that in the future, but probably not. Jack, week 4.
Round 1. Oh, sorry, round 4.
Week 4, round 4, game 1. Sea Eagles versus the Cockle-Doodle-Doos, the Roosters. Who you got?
Mate, I'm going Manly.
Yeah,
I'm going Manly. I think the Roosters need to reduce the errors. So, did I say Manly?
Yeah.
I'm going Roosters.
Oh, dude.
I'm going Roosters. Jesus Christ.
Fucking hell.
What the fuck? never mind. Anyway, I'm going Roosters.
You just talk too much, Jack. If I can be honest, you talk too much. You talk too much. You never let me get a word in.
Yeah, I know. Look, the Roosters need to reduce their errors. Like that was a big issue against the Panthers. And we need to rebuild our confidence and score early and not switch off like we do sometimes and invite them back into the game. But
I've gone the Roosters as well. This is a chance for you to get some confidence back, run up a big score, play footy across the park, let Daly Cherry Evans have a go, let Sam Walker have a go. Just, you know what they do? Like, put it into second and third gear. Have a crack. Do something.
Manly's going to be coming off the bye, so they're going to be hard. You know, they're going to have the energy. And if they target our edges, like the Warriors and the Panthers both did, we could be in trouble if we haven't fixed it.
Yeah, Dommy, so this is where I'm going to be honest. I probably manipulated Dommy a bit here. He had the Sea Eagles because of the bye. And I said, mate, really? I think you need to go the Roosters here. And he thought about it, went back to the stats, and he's like, last couple of games, Roosters, he goes, they're not playing well. And he goes, but I'm going to take your advice. I'm going to go the Roosters. And Reed looked at me and she said, I'm putting this up on the fridge. If they lose, we're going to let him make sure he picks his own tips next week. I'm like, shit, you watch it happen. Warriors versus Tigers. Dommy takes the Warriors in this one. I take the Warriors.
Yeah,
I think it's a open shut case there.
Yeah, look, the Warriors are just too hot to trot right now. Their ruck speed's ridiculous. If they keep that consistency in the ruck speed, they're going to run away with this game.
Yeah,
Tigers need to slow that down if they want to win. And their new halves pairing, whoever it is that's coming through, they need to make sure their kicking game's on point.
Yeah, they're going to get bullied, I think. It's going to be a tough night.
Mate, the Warriors' middles are so big, so strong. James Fisher-Harris, Mitch Barnett. Fucking hell.
Welcome back, Mitch Barnett. Holy shit. Yeah. Game 3, what a surprise. Broncos, prime time Friday. Haven't seen that before.
The Battle of Brisbane.
The Battle of Suncorp Stadium. Broncos v Dolphins. This is a tricky one. So I really like the Dolphins here, but I went Broncos and Dommy went the Broncos as well. A lot of confidence out of that game from Storm. I think they're going to go on a bit of a rampage now, but I'll tell you what, do not sleep on the Finny Fins.
Yeah.
Because they look impressive. So do not be surprised if I come back next week and go, why did I not tip the Dolphins?
Yeah, I think Brisbane's big game experience here is going to come out, and I think they're going to, they're going to want to win it because up here in Queensland, you guys probably don't get it down in New South Wales, but a lot of the local media and like newspapers and stuff, they really get into this Battle of the Brisbane thing, or the Battle of Brisbane, sorry, because you've got obviously the Redcliffe Dolphins and the Brisbane Broncos. They fight it out for Suncorp, so it gets a lot of hype around it. But yeah, so I think the big game experience is going to help out here.
Yeah.
For the Broncos.
We move on to Super Saturday. Game 1, Bulldogs v Knights. Another open shut case. It's going to be exquisite weather. It's a Bulldogs victory, and I think, again, it's going to be able to open up the old accelerator for the Bulldogs in this one as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think the Bulldogs are really good at grinding out wins, and I think they're going to grind out a win against the Knights. The Knights know how to score. They've definitely got a lot of attack. They need to grind out a win against the Knights here, I think, like they have been.
It's always what comes up must come down, and I feel like that's a bit of a story for Parramatta Eels here, going up against the Penrith Panthers.
Battle of the West.
Yeah, they've just won 2 in a row, and then they go, Panthers, how the fuck are you? I'll tell you right now, Eels are a bogey team for a lot of the bigger teams. Storm, Panthers, Broncos. Well, they proved that the Broncos last week. So, again, don't be surprised if they turn on the heat here, but a couple of injuries in the Eels team. I think Panthers win this, and Dommy goes Panthers as well.
Yeah, look, I think Panthers are going to win this. They've got a full squad. They're just ridiculous, like absolutely ridiculous. But you know what sticks out in my mind? Last year's game, the first Battle of the West game we had last year was the Panthers versus Parramatta, obviously. And the Nathan Cleary ices a 40-metre field goal, gets the 2 points, locks the game up. They go into Golden Point.
Just another field goal.
Then the Parramatta end up marching it up the field. They get within 20, 30 metres. You see the hooker look at Mitch Moses, and there's just this close-up shot of Moses' face going, yeah, I got this. Boom, ball goes back to him, slots it over, wins Golden Point.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It was such a good game.
Great
really
game.
Looking forward to this game.
I think there was 2 weeks in a row, Nathan Cleary, if I remember correctly, that he got 2 40-metre field goals. It was 2 weeks in a row. Great player. I will add to this too as well. Dommy had Eels first, and there was a bit of persuasion to go to Panthers. And I know why he was picking the Eels, because
from you,
because because he
I thought these were meant to be Dommy's tips.
Yeah, there is,
let him do
but it was the conversation we have. We always talk about tips, so we do our tips together, right? But Dommy obviously has his own, he can ultimately put up what he wants at the end. I'll show you his piece of paper next time, mate. It's like a draft sheet. So we talk about, I don't go, nah, you're not doing that. We talk about, and he goes right back to the last 5 games, how many missed tackles. I'm telling you, the kid's a freak. But, he loves his Eels too as well. Obviously his brother and Brad goes for the Eels. So
his dad.
Yeah. He loves the Eels. But he ended up going, do you know what, Panthers, they're going to be hard to beat. So he's going Panthers.
Yeah. I think, they're going to be hard to beat.
Last game, Super Saturday, Cowboys v Storm. Don't even want to talk about Storm. Dommy went Storm.
They're just going to bounce back. They're going to absolutely crush North Queensland. It's going to be a bad day for anyone that follows the Cowboys.
Yep. Raiders v Sharks, first game, 4:05 on the Sunday. Should be fantastic weather again. This is the hardest pick of the round. Sharks, Raiders.
Took the words out of my mouth. I think I've tipped Sharks, to be honest. I just haven't liked the way the Raiders have played this year. I don't think they're real good.
So
I think the Sharks have a lot of attack.
Dommy and I talked this one out too as well, and the final contributing factor to tipping the Raiders was it's at GIO Stadium. So
interesting.
Yeah, so we both took the Raiders there. Last game of the round, what a surprise. Another Sunday game for the Dragons v Titans. I am actually tipping the Dragons, not because they're my team. I think Dragons aren't as bad as the 3-0 that they've got there. So I'm tipping Dragons to have a bit of a night out on this one.
Yep. I think the Dragons will win this too. I think it's going to be a bit closer than you think.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Titans have caused a bit of heartbreak for me. First ever year of Magic Round. So Dragons have never won at Magic Round. The first ever game was Titans. We lost in Golden Point against the Titans. Our second game was against the Tigers. We lost 14-12. I think there was the first game Tigers won all season. And then the third year of Magic Round, we got the bye.
Wow.
Last year, I can't even remember who we were. Titans have broken my heart a couple of times, but we've whooped the Titans many a times. And I think we do it again on Sunday. If we don't, I call it now. There has to be immediate pressure on Shane Flanagan and the nepotism to drop Kyle. There will be immediate pressure.
I was going to ask you, how long does it take for the Dragons to keep losing, especially to a team like the Titans? How long would it take for Kyle Flanagan to get the axe?
But
and who do you bring in?
You can't just go on this year either. You have to rewind back to the last 5 rounds of last year.
Matt, you guys haven't won since August last year.
Yeah. So if you look at
6 months,
if you look at, that's a long time between L's and W's. So yeah,
it's a lot of W's, mate.
He's he's done some good things with recruitment. Obviously, he said in the coming weeks, last week, in the coming weeks, there's going to be a couple of high caliber players signed. He believes they will come aboard. I believe it's Jerome Buller for fullback.
Interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
I definitely think that's going to happen. So his recruitment's all right. I think with Keon Kulamatanga coming next year, I don't think the pressure's going to be for his job, being that he signed an extension last year. I think the pressure's going to be around Kyle. Now,
for sure. And that's what I'm asking you. Like, when does he...
Well, this is where I protect Kyle. Kyle, in all of the games, hasn't done anything wrong, but he hasn't done anything right. He hasn't done anything wrong, but he hasn't done anything amazing. Last week, the game against Parramatta Eels was the first time that I can ultimately say Kyle Flanagan was absolutely gone and missing. And if that was any other team, I would have said drop the fucking 5'8". So he needs to bring in Larkin King Togia. He's energetic. He's got terrible defense, but he's very much a runner of the footy. So they got to change it up. Whether they put, My
only problem is, right, he had a shit game against a good team. He's going up against a shit team, and the chances are he's probably going to have a good game. So then that justifies him keeping him in the team.
But he doesn't deserve it. That's where
that's
the
what
pressure.
I'm saying.
Yeah, but he doesn't. Yeah, so that's it.
I'm agreeing with you.
My answer is now, if Shane Flanagan does not change his team, come Tuesday tomorrow at 4 p.m, I think there's going to be a lot of questions being asked. There has to be questions being asked.
When do they bring? We talked about this kid. What's his Cade
Reid. So Cade Reid carving up. Let's talk about David Farl. He's the guy that they took from the Penrith Panthers, man. Scored 3 tries in New South Wales Cup. New South Wales Cup, who's on top of the ladder, Jack? Undefeated.
I'm going to assume the Dragons.
St George Illawarra Dragons. So when you've got New South Wales Cup 3-0 and then NRL, Telstra Premiership 0-3, what happens? You got to start taking away from a pedigree of winners and start putting them in there. Tyrell Sloan's playing incredible football. Do they put him back on the wing, add some more spark and attack? Do they give Setu a break and a stroll in there? Do they bring Cade Reid in? I think they have to bring Larkin King Togia in, and Kyle Flanagan goes and takes a little stroll in New South Wales Cup. There has to be some changes made for the Dragons, but I'm being biased. I'm talking about them too much. That's it for me. I don't know what else I want to talk about. That's made me depressed now talking about my shit team. So I have got some exciting news. Hopefully I'll put it together. So as of next week, it won't be this week, Pie Strong Podcast will be doing a random selection on a Monday when we do Dommy's tips, and it's going to be Pie Strong's team of the week. And if your team, is going up against Pie Strong's team of the week, and it can be any team out of the 17 teams, it's going to be a random button, and it might choose Rabbitohs, right? And if your team's versing the Rabbitohs, you have to jump on our socials, Instagram or Facebook, or even send through a picture through a DM with the jersey on. Proof. We need proof that you follow the team, right? And we're going to give away a voucher. The amount, I'm not sure yet, but it will be to the Macquarie Inn Hotel in Dubbo. And that can go towards beers, can go towards food, accommodation, whatever you've got there. So that's exciting to have that. So as of next week, it will be Pie Strong's team of the week. And if you beat us, and there's more than one person that got involved, we will have to select the lucky winner. But some more freebies up for grabs. And in the coming week, we give away two bloody full kit and caboodle haircuts at Ace It Fades too as well, you lucky buggers. Not many people got involved in that, so fuck yous all. But anyway, I love this. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. Jack and I love it. If you love what we're doing, make sure you show your support by jumping on, pressing subscribe, pressing the bells, all the notifications. It helps us keep doing what we're doing. Appreciate it, and talk to you next week.